Our biggest space, yeah. This may be our biggest space yet. So I need every single person to go to the bottom right and retweet the room. We already have 40 people in, and we haven't even get started. We're gonna wait for our founders to come up, wait for our co-founder, wait for our co-host, I should say, to come up. I'm gonna play a little song just to get the room warmed up. I know a lot of you guys are still asleep in bed, so I'm gonna need you guys to get up. I'm gonna play a song while we wait for a couple more people. Let's get it. Make me sweat. Make me lose my breath. Make me sweat. Make me. The founders, did say that we may have pizza for everyone on the team. So I'm gonna need you guys, for my personal benefit, to get to 100 people. I'm very excited for the space. We have Nirav and James, our founders for Camp Network, talking in the campsite. I'm very excited, guys. We're going to talk about a bunch of things, from our ecosystem hub highlights for what's coming to phase 2 with our Trailhead PFP, IP campaigns, maybe a little sauce about the mainnet. So you guys do not want to miss this. Make sure you guys tag your friend. Before we introduce our founders, let me say what's up to my co-host. Drew, how is your day going? How's the week?
My day is going great. The week is going great. Cooled down today. It was like 100 degrees the last couple days in New York, but now we're in the 80s, so I'm happy.
My God, dude, it has been absolutely insane outside. I'm just staying indoors in the AC. I can't even step foot outside. It's ridiculous.
How's your morning going?
It's going good. I'm warming up some waffles. I'm excited to, finally
Um,
talk to James and Nirav on a space. I feel like it's been a long time coming. So, I'm excited for both of us to host this and, give some sauce to the community.
can't wait.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I know you have some things. I know I have a couple of things. Denny, appreciate you flexing again, guys. Retweet the room. Without further ado, this is going to be a 40-minute, maybe 35, 40-minute space. I don't want to keep you guys super, super long. I know everyone's busy, but let's start it off by introducing our founders. We could start off with James, and then we'll pass it over to Nirav. James, if you want to give a brief introduction to everyone in the space, we would love that.
Thank you, sir. What's up, guys? I'm James. I'm one of the co-founders with Nirav. First and foremost, I love all the trailheads that people are rocking in the chat. It's good to see all the community members. Shout out Sylvan. Um, Shout out Kit Fan. Love the profile pictures you guys are repping. For those who don't know, we launched Trailheads last week, and it's been a really fun ride so far. I'm happy to share more. Have a lot of fun things to share. So excited about the space. Thank you for all tuning in.
We love to see it. We love to see it. Also, Drew or the Camp Network account. I'm not sure which one it is. You guys may have to mute because some sound is coming through. So just make sure you guys are muted, and it should be good to go. Nirav, we'll pass it over to you. We appreciate you so much for coming through to the space. Would love for you to introduce yourself to everyone.
Thank you, Jaden. Great to see the community on board. Very excited to do the space. Nirav, one of the co-founders with James. I really like chicken tenders, if that's helpful, especially with the side of ranch or blue cheese. Very excited to talk about all things camp. One of the things that I think defines us is the activity of our community, and so it really does mean a lot that people are listening in on today.
Man, we love to hear it. We appreciate you. And I think this is going to be a very valuable space. I know a lot of people in the community have been asking for the founders to come on the space, and I think it's going to be helpful to hear your guys' vision on camp. So I think we could just start it off straight off the bat with that very general question, but what is your guys' vision for camp? I know it's been a long time coming. I know a lot of things have happened in the last 2-3 years. So, James, we could start it off with you. We can pass it over to Nirav. You guys can obviously, riff off of each other if you guys would like. But what's your, general vision for camp?
Yeah, happy to kick off. General vision for camp. I mean, look, I think we're really excited about the future of all things AI and IP. What does that actually mean? You guys have probably seen all the advancements in AI over the last few weeks, few months. You saw, Google VO3's insane technology, right? And that's, imagine that technology progressing in 2 years. What does that look like for all creators? How does that impact creativity? How do you tell what's original? How do you tell what's a derivative? If AI models are going to train on your content, you should be rewarded and not the other way around. So there's a world in which AI is really kind of threatening creativity without the proper rails. And us at Camp, our vision is very simple. We want AI to work collaboratively with IP. We want creators to feel empowered using AI tools and not threatened. And we're really leaning into the kind of the amazing ecosystem of applications that we have, working with a lot of really exciting content creators, established Web2 IP, and bringing campaigns that really showcase why we here and why we exist. We launched a few in the past and can go into that in the case studies, and we're launching a handful more in the next few weeks and few months. So really excited just to kind of bring a fresh perspective on why any of this makes sense on chain and why Camp is really here to really not only protect but to compound creativity.
Yeah, man, I couldn't.
Man, we love to hear it. Go ahead, Nero. Go ahead.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with James more. I mean, look, in the world that we're seeing today, creators are fucked more than anybody else because of the fact that, you know, they are having more difficulty monetizing or making money than ever before. I think the second thing that gets really difficult is, you know, in the world where we expect 95% plus of IP in the future to be generated via AI, being the originator, proving that you're the originator of something has never mattered more than before. And if that's the case, then provenance matters. And that's really what we're doing with Camp. You know, longer term, we aim to be the world's greatest IP repository that doubles as the world's greatest place for any AI agent to train off of. And so that's what we're really building towards. And you know, couldn't be more excited. I think it's super timely given the way that everything is happening, you know, particularly around stable diffusion, stability AI, and Getty Images, for example, as well as Hollywood and Midjourney. So, you know, this constant back and forth between copyright and AI, you know, is just heating up, and we believe Camp is poised to sort of be the forefront of that at the end of the day.
We love to hear it. We love to hear it. And, you know, with Camp being on the forefront of this, I think a lot of the teams that are building on Camp are building on the front of this as well. And I think a lot of people are excited. I think, you know, for the last couple of weeks, you guys have been tuning into the campsite chats. You guys have been seeing the different buckets of teams that we have been highlighting. You have been able to, you know, hear from these founders. Our phase one is, you know, coming to a complete. We are going into our phase two. And not only do we have amazing teams, but I think, you know, with the founders and the entire team in general, we've created an amazing foundation to support them with real user growth, real user usage. And I think a lot of these dApps have flourished because they're amazing dApps, but also because of the support with our ecosystem hub. I would love to hear from the founders on, you know, just a general phase one recap. You know, how is our ecosystem hub different from what the crypto, you know, scene has seen in the past? Some, you know, traction numbers on the hub. I know that's going to get a lot of community members excited as well. If you guys would like to touch on that.
Yeah, happy to. We believe that apps are one of the best form factors to onboard IP. How to think about that is, instead of asking people to upload pictures of random IP, the best way to actually have them do so is through an application. So imagine using like a design app or a music app or a content app. As users are interacting with the applications and the IP that they're creating natively in the application experience, that IP being tokenized is a way better onboarding experience that enables us also to focus on servicing applications that exist on chain today, to really leverage the best BD efforts around, you know, helping these teams operationally with various different go-to-market strategies and product to ultimately help onboard the next generation of IP. So that was the ultimate genesis for why we wanted to launch a incentivized testnet, which is our kind of ecosystem hub, where we were featuring, and you guys have probably seen this, but it's the 3D campsite that we actually, you know, built in-house and wanted to really give a fun, gamified way for users to explore the various apps on Camp. So we kicked that off a few weeks ago, and the phase one metrics have, you know, kind of blown us out of the water. We've had, as of this morning, over 3.5 million wallets, over 45 million transactions on chain, and these are all, you know, for the applications that have been featured in our phase one. We really spent time curating a pretty diverse and interesting set of applications. We didn't want to have, you know, be talking about IP and AI, and then you open the hub and it's 90% DeFi where we're the 10th chain. To us, that wasn't interesting. That wasn't interesting for us on the narrative perspective, nor was it interesting for you guys as it relates to, you know, offering a unique user experience. So again, we curated a list of various projects. There were about 20 teams in our phase one across 6 different categories: AI, gaming, consumer, social, And we just featured our, Summit X, which is our kind of all-in-one super DeFi app. We're launching phase 2 next week, which is exciting for us. So please turn your notifications on. We'll be featuring 15 plus more teams into this phase 2, and featuring a combination of on-chain and off-chain quests. But the goal is to showcase additional teams across these 6 categories, giving you guys something fun, showcasing that these are live apps on Camp, and how they're ultimately all contributing to onboarding IP and building for this agentic future trained on user-owned IP.
We love to hear it, guys. We've put in a lot of effort on this ecosystem hub. If you guys have not checked it out, it is pinned to the top. All you have to do is click the pinned tweet on the top, and then you are going to be able to, discover some new dApps, get excited for what's coming in the future. Nirav, I'm not sure if you had anything you wanted to touch on the phase 1 recap, what's coming for phase 2. I'll pass it over to you just in case. If not, we can go on to the next thing, of course.
No, I mean, look, people on the growth team, yourself, Riddy, Drew, CP, everybody else on as well. Like, I think it's a testament to the quality of BD and growth that we've done as an ecosystem. When other people in the network basically say, how does Camp have so many good apps that seem like they actually, it seems like they've incubated all of them. And I think that's what we get really excited about. As James mentioned, if in 5 months we're still talking about blockchain as, people just go to a blockchain directly instead of using apps, we're kind of screwed as an industry. And so we believe that apps is the best way as a form factor. And, running these incentivized campaigns is super helpful. You saw Panenka do like a really cool campaign recently. You saw it with StoryChain. And so our goal is to basically get the apps as much usage as possible, because that's what's going to drive the future adoption of blockchain in the first place.
We love to hear it. We love to hear it. Guys, I see a couple of people requesting. We may not have time to bring people up, but if you guys have questions, please go to the bottom right purple bubble and drop your questions there, and I would be happy to read them out loud to our founders. One of the questions is, what are some teams that got you excited or get you excited that are building on the Camp ecosystem hub? Obviously, we love all the teams building on Camp, but I'm kind of curious. And someone in the chat commented it as well. What is your guys' favorite team that gets you excited right now? And then also, how could some teams get involved? Because we're getting a lot of DMs from different teams, consumer applications, so on and so forth, about how can they get involved in the phase 2. So I'll pass it over to James and Nirav for that.
Yeah, it's a really great question. I mean, I think there's no better way than to showcase what team we're excited by than to kind of reflect on the campaign we launched 2 weeks ago with Rob Feldman, who is a really established content creator. He launched his own animated series, and this campaign on chain was essentially showing that AI should work collaboratively with IP. How does that happen? So we were able to train this app called Merv, which is shout out Merv team. But we really they were able to train their model on this IP. And if you go to camp.merv.wtf, you can see the marketplace of all the remixed IP. You guys cooked so hard on it. The outputs were amazing. Just so surprising how everyone is so creative. And we're really impressed by just the ability to output remixed IP that was trained on this original IP from Rob. We had over 150,000 users, over 300,000 remixed IP. So shout out to you guys, the community. And what was really exciting is being able to transpose that derivative IP into StoryChain, which is another AI app built with Camp. And the goal there was to show that you can have AI remixing IP, and then you can take that remixed IP into another app composably, and then you can output a comic book based on your derivative IP. So the goal there was to showcase that app can be collaborative with IP, and we worked with various AI teams on Camp to make this possible, and the engagement was just amazing. So I wanted to shout out those teams and those partners for making this a reality.
I'm going to jump in and ask a couple more questions about that, because I too was just super excited about that specific campaign. What was your biggest takeaway about that specific campaign?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think the first piece that really stood out to me was the creativity of community, right? It showcases that everyone out there has a really creative brain and really creative thought. And the fact that AI is encroaching on creativity and making it really difficult to establish provenance and who are the original owners, and kind of threatening all creativity in general is a really scary thought. So this almost gave me more reason to build camp and to be excited about our vision, to be on a mission to really kind of protect and empower creativity of everyone out there, building on chain and to really kind of build the right infrastructure for this to be a reality.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, we always like to drop a little bit of alpha on these spaces. Any upcoming campaigns that you're excited about?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I mean, the one that we can share now, without going too much into details, is we're working with a really, really established IP in Asia. And we're really focused on, again, what are the use cases of IP on chain? Why does this need to exist? Why does it need to happen? So through launching this campaign and incorporating a handful of really exciting partners, our goal is to show that on blockchain, the process of licensing and monetization can be vastly improved by up to 10x. And so really excited to just bring a really established IP, leverage a geographic and a global audience, leverage AI co-creation, licensing, monetization, passing back real money to co-contributors of this campaign. Those are the tidbits that I can share without giving away too much, but really excited to get this out over the next few weeks and have you guys all participate. More details to come on Twitter, so be sure to turn notifications on.
We'll be ready. We'll be ready. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, IP should be a tool. It should be collaborative. It should help expand IP rather than being, combative in a sense. So, super excited to get more campaigns out there.
And Jaden, your second question is, look, if you're a project out there, and you want to be included, we like to have fun with our marketing. As you can see, our Twitter is far from boring. We don't like just to do the standard, kind of posts. We like to cook up some fun content. And as part of that, we're launching, phase 2 of our kind of eco hub next week, and there will be more phases to come. So that's to say that we're always happy to chat. We view ourselves more than just infrastructure partners. We're not just a blockchain that exists so you can deploy. We want to work with you. We want to be in your DMs. We want to provide operational support. Like, we want to help you review pitch decks. We want to kind of give you the tools you need to be successful as a business and as a founding team. So if any of that applies to you, please drop us a DM. We'd love to chat more and see where we can provide all the best support we can.
We love to hear it. We love to hear it. I know there's a lot of founders in the space right now and a lot of people on the timeline. Please, message Drew, message James, Nirav, me, myself, anyone, and then we can see how we can get you involved. We are very, very supportive, responsive, and we also see a lot of creatives that are popping in the space, right? So if you're an artist, musician, whatever the case may be, please reach out to us and we'll see how we can get you involved in a campaign similar to the IP campaign that James mentioned. And, funneling this over into, speaking of creativity, I want to talk a little bit about our Trailheads PFP. If you guys are looking in the space right now, shout out to Yami, my guy, popping in with the Trailheads PFP. We have Toucan, Taz popping in the space. Who else got the Trailhead PFP, guys? We have Alec with the Trailhead PFP. We love to see it. We love to see it. Blank, shout out to everyone that is rocking my favorite PFP project of all time. This has been a long time in the works. Obviously I'm biased, but I do think it is one of the most unique PFPs out there. I'm not going to go into the design process in its entirety because we already had a space with our artist, Ika, but he did handcraft every single one of the PFPs you are seeing. He took a picture of it. None of this was done digitally, and I think it's an amazing job when it comes to just really focusing on the art. But there's a lot that goes behind this PFP mint. Our phase 1 mint has been completed, and I would love for our founders to, give their thought process on releasing this Trailheads PFP at the time that, we released it, what it means for the community, and what could they expect.
Yeah, that's look, I think the Trailheads profile picture collection went as good as we could have expected. We were cooking this up over the last few months. Shout out Jaden for being the kind of chief architect around, kind of getting this done with Ika and the team there. So really just excited about the construction, the process. Everything was handmade. There's no AI, there's no digital kind of editing here in terms of like all like digital creation. This is purely like artist creativity at its finest. We wanted to give out, half the collection now, and that was picked up quickly. Love seeing everyone rock the PFPs. In terms of like what's next for this, we are launching our phase 2, meaning we're going to drop the other 1,000 over the next few weeks. So stay tuned. We heard you guys' feedback in the community, and we're being very mindful of distribution for that second phase. And so how we're thinking about it is we're going to be doing it more on like a whitelist basis. And we want to essentially just be able to have the right visibility, the right reward structure for people in our community that are actively contributing to camp, its narrative. You know, we saw an amazing set of UGC leading up to the launch where people were sending us the most amazing kind of videos and pictures and concepts of their own profile pictures collection that was handmade or doing a really exciting campaign. So we want to see more of that. We want to see more people talk about the various campaigns that we're launching, and get excited just as we are about the future of why IP and AI could be collaborative all on camp. So that is something that we'll share more details on as it relates to the whitelist for phase 2. We're excited just to kind of listen to our community. Thank you guys for always being transparent. We want to make sure you guys are happy and you guys feel aligned with us always. So thank you for the feedback, and we heard that, and we're excited to launch phase 2 over the next few weeks.
Hey, if you own a Trailheads, there'll be some sick perks coming out soon. It's not like officially signed and whatnot, but we're going to be working with the Black Mirror team as well on all this type of stuff. So if you own a Trailheads, you should get a very nice reward in the next couple of weeks. And if you don't own a Trailhead, you should get one ASAP. Is all I'll say over here.
Hey, you heard it here first. They're going for not too high on the floor, not financial advice, but I would personally go, scoop it before it's too late. You heard it here first, right? So if you guys don't have a Trailhead, let's get it going. If anyone needs help with any of that, please, you could DM me, Head Camp Ranger, any one of us, and we can help you out. But we love to see it, guys. Keep rocking the Trailhead PFPs on the timeline. If you guys need support on anything, and you guys are also rocking the Trailheads PFP, please reach out to one of us, and we're always looking to support creators, founders, whatever the case may be. We actually got a comment from someone in the audience before going on to talking about, we talked about the IP campaigns. I would love to tease a little bit about mainnet, but Web Wizard commented something. Web Wizard, I got you. And they mentioned, what's been the hardest part of growing the camp community so far? I think it's a beautiful question because, not to knock anyone else, but I think camp has a very, very strong community. Shout out to our huge community team as well. I think, from our Discord, Telegram to the activations we do, I don't think there's a, crypto community like camp. Very, very strong. Shout out to some of the biggest members. Of course, shouting out Yami one more time. But yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. What's been the hardest part of growing this community that is so strong in the current day?
It's a really good question, Jaden. I think the mistake people make is that they try and buy their community. Now, what does that really mean, right? Like, the idea of just, doing shit, saying there's going to be an airdrop and then paying people to, use your apps is pretty poor because it leads to mercenaries at the end of the day. I think one of the things at camp is we've been building this for 2 years. We have and really serious since the last year. Like, we've organically grown that community to be folks like yourselves. So, we have 128 people in the space at 11:30 in the afternoon on a Thursday. Like, people have things to do today. And the fact that they're listening in is a testament to the quality of the community that we built. I think the most important thing that you need is you got to focus on your early power core community members. People on the core community side of things have gone on to actually work with camp. And I think that's like a testament where it's like, we don't need to hire Discord mods. We have great Discord mods. We have people in our Discord who are constantly active. Like, Yami's a good example. Zex, if he's on here, is another really good example of that. Like, everybody here is a really good example of that. And so overall, the key to growing community is be organic with it, as opposed to try and rush through. And obviously, at some point, you're going to hit a wall. But what really changes things is being true to the brand and being true to the content and never sort of straying away. And making sure that your community profits as well. That's the other really big thing that we're focused on.
We love to hear it. Appreciate you, Narav. I think we could transition a little bit over into mainnet. After you guys gave us the little sauce on the IP campaigns we have coming up, I think the space deserves some gems on what's coming for mainnet. Obviously, we have our phase 2 for our ecosystem hub coming up. You know, we have a bunch of new dApps, you know, that people are going to be able to participate in. But of course, when it comes to mainnet, is there anything that you guys would like to tell people in the space? We're getting, you know, flooded on the timeline with it. So, you know, we'd love to pass it over to you guys to see if there's any gems you can drop.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Look, for us, we continue to remain excited about the various teams launching with us. The goal is to get these guys deployed, you know, launch them in some interesting campaigns that get you guys excited about why any of this IP AI needs to be on Camp. Now, that being said, we are kind of gearing up for mainnet. You know, can't give out definitive dates, but we're looking at sort of later this year. So, you know, stay close on timelines. We're excited to continue pushing and getting these campaigns out and showcase our ecosystem to you folks as well.
We love to see it. Guys, if you guys are in the space right now, make sure you guys are following, of course, the Camp account. Make sure you guys are following Nirav, James as well. You know, they're always on the timeline. All of us, you know, if you guys need any help with anything, please reach out to us. And I think the last thing, you know, we covered a lot of things in this space. You know, phase 1, phase 2 teas, mainnet, trailheads, PFP, IP campaigns. We have so many things. Community, so many things going on in the Camp ecosystem, and this is just the beginning. So everyone in the space, you guys are super, super early. I think the last, you know, but not least, we can end it off with Nirav and James. If you guys just want to give any closing thoughts, any statements to the builder, creators, founders that are listening into this space right now, I'll give it to you guys. Nirav, go ahead.
Yeah. Number one, like, I know this may sound cheesy, but it's pretty cool to see how much we've grown. I did my first spaces that Jen posted about. Jen, keep me honest here, but I want to say like around this time last year, and there were literally 4 people on board, and now we're 30x that in 1 year. You know, it's really cool to see how much we've grown, not just as a team but as a community. And I think what I get really excited by is, you know, getting DMs from people on Twitter or Telegram mostly. Sorry if I'm not the most active on Twitter DMs, but like people saying, "Hey, I'm really interested in this, this, and this. How can I get involved? I want to build this and this. Is there any way we can sort of work on that with you?" And like that's the shit that I live for. So please continue to spread the gospel, like continue to be loud on Twitter. We want to make sure everybody does well. When we eat, everybody eats. So really, really, really excited for the next generation of this.
Yeah, I can echo that more. I mean, honestly, community is everything. I love seeing all the really fun tweets that you guys put out. I'm, you know, deep into the comments and I see all the fun posts that you guys put out. So look, thank you guys for contributing to Camp. Honestly, we can't spell Camp with you guys. So really excited to have you guys all on